Welcome back, and today we are going to discuss the International Space Station, one of many popular creations made by humans. This famous structure, launched back in 1998 by the United States, Russia, Canada, Japan, and members of the European Space Agency. It's about the size of a football field and weighs as much as a jam-packed Boeing 747. As you may know, a normal configuration of a stadium can house 60,000 spectators, where there are some that can house over 80,000. The total cost of building the ISS was approximately $100 billion, with the US being the major contributor to the structure's success. The gargantuan station orbits the Earth every 90 minutes at an average altitude of 400 kilometers or 250 miles. It has been permanently occupied since November 2000 by Russian and American-led crews who typically stay for 6 months to carry out experiments in microgravity, which have practical applications on Earth and help prepare for future missions to Mars. One of NASA astronauts you may have heard, Mark Vonder Hey, hold the record for the longest straight stay on board the ISS, of 355 days. It is important to note, there are 5 space agencies representing 15 countries, operate ISS. NASA, ESA, CSA, and JAXA operate the US orbital segment, responsible for solar power. Meanwhile, the Russian orbital segment, operated by Roscosmos, handles propulsion and maintaining orbit. How are the astronauts nourished, you ask? Well, food supplies on the ISS are equally divided between the US and Russia, with uncrewed supply ships from both countries, as well as SpaceX, owned by Elon Musk. The station has a maximum capacity of 13 crew members during crew rotations, with a full-time crew of 7. Incredibly, up to 8 spaceships can be connected to the ISS simultaneously, and it takes just 4 hours to reach it from Earth. The Soyuz spacecraft has 3 places, while SpaceX's Dragon 2 has 4. To prepare for emergencies, there are always 2 spacecraft docked at the ISS, one of which was unfortunately hit by a meteorite. While floating in an empty abyss, you'd be surprised what keeps astronauts busy. A typical day begins at 6 in the morning, and lights go out promptly at 10:30 at night. During this time frame, there are roughly 200 experiments conducted by the crew members. Aside from experiments, astronauts take part in physical activity to prevent muscle loss. Think about this, do you believe there is enough space on the ISS for the crew members? It may come as a surprise, but the crew members don't have enough space to bring in their personal belongings, much less a king-size bed. Instead, the astronauts sleep in a bag that is stowed away, vertically. During this long voyage, there is little water on board. While some water supply is brought from Earth, majority is extracted from the air and urine. With limited water supply, showering comes in small packages. Literally, astronauts use cleansing towelettes for personal use. They also rely on air flushes to remove solid waste. These wastes are compacted into canisters that are packed into supply vessels. These actually re-enter Earth's atmosphere, burning up upon their re-entry. But the question that has remained unanswered, how long will ISS last? It is unclear on the longevity of this contraption, but what is for certain, both NASA and ESA want to continue the operations at least until 2030. However, the Russians indicated they want to withdraw after 2024, in hopes to establish their own station. However, with ongoing war conflict, it is unclear if Russia made a decision. There may be a point when an update may be shared to the space enthusiast, but do you think the ISS has more years to explore? Or is there something greater being built?